03, BTR 11466, air 111666, take one. Is that right, or do you want another slate?
My name is Victoria Winters. Sitting in the drawing room of Collinwood is a man who may or may not be a murderer. I still have no way of knowing whether or not he might want to make me his next victim, in spite of the plausible story he told. Roger Collins is a man driven by fear.
Vicky? Vicky, it's Roger. I want to talk to you. Vicky? Vicky? Miss Winters, where are you? Vicky? Vicky, are you out there? Vicky!
Is everything all right?
I'm not sure. I have a feeling everything's all wrong.
What do you mean?
Roger just told me the most incredible story. He said that the night Bill Malloy died, he called Malloy and arranged to see him before the meeting.
Roger said that?
Yes. And when he got there, Malloy was already dead. He was so shocked he didn't know what to do. So he did nothing. He knew how badly it would look for him, seeing as he had the opportunity and the motive who'd believe him.
No one.
Well, maybe I believe him.
You can't be serious.
I'm not as sure as I was. He could have been telling the truth.
Then who killed Bill Malloy?
No one killed him. The coroner's report could have been right. It could have been an accident.
Accidents don't happen that conveniently unless he helped it to happen.
I want to believe Roger. I really do.
That's exactly what he wants. He'd like nothing more than to have the whole thing forgotten.
He doesn't want to cause Mrs. Stoddard any more grief or trouble.
Oh, boy. He sure pulled out all the stops, didn't he?
I know you think I'm an idiot, but I can't help it.
Only that fountain pen hadn't disappeared so conveniently. Wait a minute. You say Roger was in the house the afternoon the pen disappeared?
Yes,
Well, then obviously he took it.
I know.
If he had any sense at all, he would have thrown it as far as he could into the ocean. But maybe he didn't.
What do you mean?
You know, I think we could go to the police with what we know.
Roger could deny the whole thing, couldn't he?
Yes, of course he could. Just the way he denied knowing anything about that meeting that night. What we need is some tangible proof.
The fountain pen.
I have a crazy idea. It just might work. I'm going up to Bangor tonight. Would you like to come along?
I can't. How could I explain it?
You still feel you owe them something, don't you, Vicky?
Yes, I do.
You'd make a very good Girl Scout. Well, you stay here, but I don't think you should go back up to Collinwood tonight.
Why not? As long as Roger thinks I believe his story, I'm perfectly safe.
You're not a very good liar.
Well, maybe I believe him. It's perfectly possible that he is telling the truth.
It's also possible that he called Malloy that night, that he went out to Lookout Point and hit him over the head and threw him into the ocean.
Burke, please.
It is also possible that if he gets the slightest inkling that you don't believe his story, Vicky, he may do the same thing to you. He might even consider it a strong enough motive, knowing that you were here talking to me.
Now, I know you're exaggerating.
He can only be convicted of one murder. He can only serve one life sentence, no matter how many people he kills.
Burke, please don't talk like that.
You just refuse to face facts, don't you?
What are the facts? A missing fountain pen? Well, Roger's story makes as much sense to me as your theory does.
You're wrong, Vicky. There's one fact you've overlooked.
What's that?
Bill Malloy is dead. Come on, I'll drive you back as far as the gate.
Hi, Pop.
Were you here long?
I'd almost begun to think I'd been stood up by my own father.
Oh.
Now, that would have been the ultimate rejection.
Ah, you know better. Now, what can I do for you?
I have something to tell you.
Ooh, that sounds ominous. That's why you invited me to the Blue Whale, huh?
Well, I thought it wouldn't sound so bad in here.
All right. What is it?
Vicki Winters says she has proof that Bill Malloy did not die accidentally.
Proof? What proof?
Well, she wouldn't tell me that. She said it might not be enough to convince a jury, but it was enough to convince her. I'll tell you something, Pop. I was afraid for her. I even asked her to come and stay with us.
Well, why didn't she?
Well, she just didn't want to.
Well, surely she didn't think I had anything to do with it.
No, I'm sure she doesn't.
Did she say that?
Well, not in so many words, but she did tell me if she told me any more, I'd be in as much danger as she was. That the killer might find out that I knew. So, of course, I realized it wasn't you she was talking about.
Well, who is it? Did she give any indication at all?
Not directly. But who had the motive? Who else could she be talking about except Roger?
Collins, huh? Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Well, he had every reason in the world. Well, did she say what she intended doing?
Well, I gathered she'd already discussed it with someone.
Ah. George Patterson, the sheriff.
No. With Burke Devlin.
Burke? Well, I'd rather she'd gone directly to the police.
Pop, if Vicki really does have proof that Roger killed Malloy, it doesn't involve you in any way, does it?
You mean, does it implicate me in any way? Of course it doesn't. I had absolutely nothing at all to do with it. I had no knowledge about it. I didn't know Malloy was dead until the sheriff told the both of us that day in the coffee shop.
It seems like years ago.
It means the whole thing. I thought the whole thing was over and done with.
I guess it was until Vicki found out whatever it was she found out.
Maybe she won't ever go to the police.
But Burke will if she told him the whole story.
The whole thing starts all over again.
Does that mean that letter you had me put in the hotel safe is still important?
It might be.
And you still won't tell me what was in that letter?
I told you, it's a life insurance policy.
Haven't you been able to think of anything better than that in all this time?
Well, I've just forgotten about it.
So did I, until Vicki reminded me of the whole thing again.
Why couldn't she have just kept quiet?
I said almost the same thing, only I said it to her.
What'd she say?
You know Vicky. She has a sense of duty about the whole thing. Oh, come on now, Pop. The Blue Whale isn't suddenly going to run out of booze. I mean, you don't have to drink them dry.
I know what I'm doing.
Right now you do, but I want you to stay that way.
Don't worry about me.
Keep saying that, and I keep worrying. Besides, I haven't told you the whole thing yet.
What more is there?
Vicky also said that Malloy's murder is tied in with that accident 10 years ago.
Did she tell Burke that?
I suppose so. It does involve you, doesn't it?
Hello, is this the Collinsport Inn? Ring Burke Devlin's room, will you please? Oh, did he say when he would be back? I see. Thank you.
Hey, Pop, what's the matter? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm all right. Maggie, do you think that... Listen, you're on pretty good terms with Vicky, aren't you?
Oh, sure.
Call her up.
Why?
Well, I want to find out if she knows anything that could prove that Roger had killed Malloy.
I did ask her that, and she wouldn't tell me.
Well, try it again. You're good at that kind of thing. Come on, you know you can always get anything from me you want.
Not always.
Anything. Just ask, anything.
All right. What about that letter in the hotel safe?
I told you all about that. Now, go on. Why don't you telephone Collinwood right now and ask Vicky?
Pop, it's too late to call now.
No, it isn't. Now, you go on and call her. You do that for me, Maggie. Please. Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, Mr. Collins, this is Maggie Evans. I hope I didn't disturb you.
Oh, not at all, Miss Evans. What can I do for you?
Could I speak to Vicky?
Well, I'm sorry. She doesn't seem to be here at the moment. As a matter of fact, I called your house a little while ago thinking she might be there.
No, Pop and I have been here some time now, at the Blue Whale.
I see. Then you haven't seen Vicky at all.
No, that's why I called.
Is there any message I can give her?
Would you ask her to call me tomorrow?
I'll do that. Good night.
Good night.
Vicky!
Roger, you startled me.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know anyone was up this late.
I was worried about you. Won't you come in for a moment?
You knew I'd gone out.
Oh, please don't think I was spying on you. I thought of something else that you ought to know. I went up and knocked on your door, and to my surprise, no Vicky.
I couldn't sleep. I went for a walk.
You must be exhausted if you've been walking all this time.
I wasn't walking all the time. I went to Maggie Evans' house.
Oh, did you? And how is Maggie Evans?
she's fine. You remember she called me earlier this evening?
Yes, I seem to remember you spoke at some length. Something to do with the portrait of the Hanscom girl, wasn't it?
That's right.
Well, then, is that what you discussed this evening?
Yes, she said she'd found something new about it, but apparently she was wrong.
Oh, what a shame. Then your visit was entirely wasted.
Not really. I like talking to Maggie.
Yes, so do I. I must really get to know her better.
She's lots of fun. It's nice to talk to someone who has no big problems to solve.
Yes, I can imagine.
You said you wanted to see me.
Oh, it's not important.
What was it about?
Well, our minds run in the same channels. I was about to suggest to you that you call Maggie Evans.
What for?
Oh, to see if she could throw any light on this portrait of the Hanscom girl.
That is a coincidence.
I told you our minds seem to work alike.
Well, I think I'll go to bed now. I'm quite tired.
Yes, you should be tired after that long walk.
Good night.
Pleasant dreams, Miss Winters. Hello, is this the Blue Whale? Do you know if Sam Evans is there? Oh, he did. How long ago? I see, but he was there earlier. With his daughter? Did you happen to notice if there was anyone else with him? Quite alone. Thank you very much. Oh no, I'll try it home. Thank you.
Who is it? Who's there? Who's out there?
Roger, are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Can I come in?
Yes.
I heard you call out.
Yes. I screamed.
Why? What happened?
Someone tried to get into my room.
What do you mean, tried to get in your room? The door wasn't locked.
It was. I know it was.
But I opened the door. It wasn't locked, Vicky.
It was locked. Someone unlocked it, and someone tried to get into my room. I screamed and scared them away.
Were you asleep?
Yes. The sound of the lock woke me up. Then I saw the door opening.
Are you sure it was the noise that awakened you?
Yes, I heard something. It terrified me.
What I mean is, are you sure that you were actually awake?
Of course I'm sure someone was outside there.
But I ran upstairs. I didn't see anyone. I didn't hear anyone.
You think it's my imagination? Well, that door opened, and it didn't open by itself.
You know what I think, Vicky?
What?
I think you were so sleepy after that long walk that you meant to lock the door, but you didn't. You had every intention to, but you just didn't get around to it. You forgot.
That isn't true.
Did you see anyone?
No. It was dark, and...
Well, and you were still asleep.
No, I wasn't.
Well, don't be frightened. I'm just a short way down the hall. And I'm a light sleeper. If you hear anyone skulking about, just sing out, and I'll be here before you know it.
Thank you, Roger.
Good night, Vicky. Oh, Vicky, I have a message for you. Maggie Evans phoned. She's been with her father all evening. I suggest you call her in the morning and get your story straight. Good night.
A father's dream has become a rugged adventure for his children. Share the excitement of the Wyoming wilderness with the Monroes tonight, right after Batman on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production. Dark Shadows.